evening with a knock on the door from the fire department. And they came and said, somebody here called 911. And I said, no, I'm sleeping, my son's downstairs. They said, no, somebody called. And I said, you have the wrong place. And they said, where's your son? And there comes my son up the stairs, drunk, on cough medicine. He could hardly stand. From there, it went to psychiatric treatment facilities, about 4 different ones. He was locked up probably 3 times from there. And then there was rehabs. He went to every rehab in this area, including long-term, short-term. Our kids have the choice on whether or not they want to be in a facility. And he chose to leave the facility about an hour north of here. He was 15, and I couldn't find him for a couple of days, but once we found him, he went back to jail. I called the police on Luke many, many, many times. I had him locked up 7 times. He was mostly charged with unlawful consumption. Lucas was the kind of addict that would do anything he could get his hands on. After, when he turned about 17 and he had been to all the rehabs, my last hope was sending him to a long-term treatment facility. Shortly before I did that, he died on June 16, 2005, which is what I call his first death date. I suspected that he had been using heroin, but Lucas was on house arrest. He had a job at McDonald's. I picked him up the night before this happened, and I thought, he can't be. He can't. But I thought, something's just not right with him. He can't be. And so we went home, and I kept questioning him, and I always wanted to believe him. I always wanted to. And I should have gone and looked. The next day, we were both upstairs. He went downstairs. I went into my bedroom to take a nap. I heard my husband come upstairs screaming, "Christy, call 911. Lucas was down on his bed, white, gray, blue, with his head back, hardly breathing. I mean, he really wasn't breathing. We carried him up the stairs in front of his brother and sister, put him on the living room floor, and just kept hitting him and slapping his face, trying to bring him to. I was frantically waiting. I did not think the ambulance was going to get there in time to save his life. And he made it. And then I brought the police into my house, had them go through the basement, and then he was arrested for possession of a controlled substance. Back to jail again. Then it was to rehab again. And then, when he turned 17, my last hope was the facility in Utah. So I got him to the facility in Utah, and he was there for 11 months. No, I'm sorry, 10 months. He turned 18 on November 22nd, 2006, and once they're 18, they can go. So we sent him a bus ticket to California, because we told him to pick a place that he could go to, that he would like to go to, where there was no family, because we all agreed there was not going to be any enabling whatsoever. Luke found a ticket, managed to trade it in, get a bus ticket back here to Chicago. And I was happy about that, because I wanted him home, but I wanted him home clean and sober. And he would not tell me. He told me, "Mom, I'm just going to smoke pot and drink. I promise. It's all I'm going to do." And that's what he did until the day he died, on January 14th, 2007. Lucas didn't touch heroin, not until that day. But he was determined that he was going to use. Because once he started using, he always progressed into what he had started with. I cannot tell you how many parents I've talked to that tell me, oh, my kid just smokes pot. Just smokes pot. Just smoking pot is what killed my son. Because it starts somewhere.